Hey guys, how's it going? Give yourselves a round of applause for showing up for Anchorage. I'm Kass, I'm a local comic. I've been slinging jokes in this town for almost a decade. How the hell are you tonight? You guys doing good? You guys still doing okay? Good. Honestly, I'm tired myself. I would have thought more people would have peeled out and gone home to watch RuPaul's Drag Race or something, but you stuck it out, so thank you. I'm here to share my story about the abortion that I got while living in Alaska, and also maybe tell you some dumb jokes. Here we go. When I was 16 years old, I got pregnant because I was using a condom with my boyfriend and it broke. We had to sell our Xbox One and all of our games to raise the money to get a secret abortion so our parents wouldn't find out. It was a terrifying, horrifying experience that has stuck with me ever since. Yeah, that was when I was 16. At 17 years old, our governor, Sarah Palin, passed a law that said that any minor under the age of 18 would have to get written parental consent to obtain said abortions. If she had passed that 1 year before, I wouldn't have been able to receive my procedure, which arguably could have saved my life. Because my dad would have killed me. Do you know what I'm saying? When I was 18 years old, I wrote Lisa Murkowski, our senator, a letter, 2 letters, begging her not to confirm Justice Alito and Justice John Roberts in the Supreme Court of the United States. I begged her. She only responded with a letter when they were both confirmed, and her letter was mean. She was gloating to an 18-year-old girl, one of her constituents, that her rights were just about to be taken away, hanging by a thread. She is still your senator. She is not with us. She's not with us. Governor Dunleavy, also not with us. It's tremendously important that we do not let any bills like this get even close to Dunleavy's desk. You guys being here today is super important. For the next 10 years after I was 18 years old, I spent my time bouncing on and off of every birth control product that I could afford to buy on my part-time job salaries or whatever kind of money I could scrape up in the couch cushions. The birth control pill made me moody. Depo made me fat and moody. And the IUD made me fat, moody, and hurty. Meanwhile, my boyfriends got to enjoy the luxury of sometimes wearing a condom if I made them. I agree. You said it, not me. When I was 28 years old, I was in between methods when I found out that I was pregnant, 4 weeks pregnant. It was another week before I timidly decided to tell my boyfriend, surprise, we're having a baby. Needless to say, he was not excited or pleased. In fact, he was quite angry, and he threw me out of the house. Yeah, he was what we call in the business of being a lady, he was a dick. A week later, I finally got scheduled for an appointment to go see the doctor to get fully diagnosed. 6 days after that, I ended up showing symptoms of a miscarriage. Took another week before I could qualify for Denali Kid Care to get the right kind of assistance to financially pay for the DNC that arguably saved my life. Without that life-saving procedure of a DNC, I would have been forced to pass a stillborn baby, which could have killed me. I don't really think that these silly bills are worth endangering more people's lives. If they're really, truly interested in the right to life, then they should help protect my life as well. It took a week, like I said, so at 8 weeks, which is now criminal in Georgia, Alabama, Ohio, and Missouri. At 8 weeks, my best friend Kyle drove me down to the clinic so that I can get a life-saving procedure. I was unprepared. I didn't eat breakfast. As soon as I got the medication, I threw it up in a trash can inside Planned Parenthood. Had to go forward with the procedure anyway. I laid there on the table having flashbacks of 12 years before when I was laying there as a 16-year-old child in a terrible situation. It was scary, but I was thankful for the doctors and nurses who put themselves in harm's way from right-wing extremist terrorism to help me get through that procedure that saved my life. Doctors and nurses that now in Alabama would be felons under their new law. Under new legislation here today, I would be a felon. The doctors and nurses who saved my life would be felons. My friend Kyle, who drove me to the clinic, he would also be a felon. In some places like Alabama and Georgia, I could be put on death row just for getting a procedure which got a dead baby outside of my body so that I could live. That's insanity. We can't let that happen here. Alaska's pretty to live and let live. We're not going back. Paul Ryan gave a speech once, and in his speech, he claimed that the American workforce is dwindling because women are not having enough babies. Right. With good reason. With good reason. Paul Ryan said very blatantly, your agenda is clear. It's not about religion. It's not about you. It's about slavery. They need you to have more children so they can have more American workers. They said it flat out. Their agenda is there. Exactly, but you know the men, it's mostly men and ladies who wear gross red jackets who sign these dumbass bills into law. They're men who have never ever had the pleasure of bleeding through their pants in front of all their 7th grade classmates in gym class. They've never had the pleasure of being groped unwantedly on a first date and then being told by your local police to shut the hell up. And they've definitely never had the pleasure of walking inside a Planned Parenthood or any kind of women's health clinic and meeting the nice, amazing, dedicated professionals who work there every day. They vote against our bills for a couple reasons. They vote against the bills because it's their religious freedom. They vote against these bills or propose these bills because it's their right to do so as a man. They do it because they feel threatened by women. They do it because they just don't like women. But most importantly, they do it because they get paid by lobbyists and people like the Heritage Foundation to do it. There's big money involved, and it has to stop. Just know people like Lisa Murkowski and Dunleavy and Eastman and all of these people, just Miss Sharon Jackson, probably getting that big money. And that brings me to my next point. Ladies, you can take a break. Fellas, this is for you. We need more forms of male birth control. This is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. Nobody likes condoms. We don't want you to have to wear a trash bag on your dick. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. I'm not a scientist. If I was, I would develop something better for your body. Right now, the only form of semi-permanent male birth control is a shot with a needle to the testicles. Do you think I want that for you? No. But the way God Almighty designed your dumb bodies, it's the only way it's gonna work is if you get a shot once a year to the testes. And I'm sorry. But you need a new birth control plan. Why? Why? Because most men's plan is the woman's plan, and quite frankly, we're freaking sick and tired of that plan. Get your own damn plan, man. But here's the deal, the catch-22. What if the only valid form besides vasectomy of male birth control is a shot to the testicles? We gotta make some incentives to get this program off the ground. So I have developed in a lab with some lady scientists some incentives for this birth control program. Here we go. Fellas, you still gotta get a shot to the nuts once a year. That's unavoidable. But you're gonna get some sweet incentives, like what if you get a shot to the nuts and all of a sudden you're really good at Call of Duty? Right? Or like, how about you get a shot to the nuts once a year, you're good at Call of Duty, and you get like magical hair regrowth. Where it grows in like super good on the top and then really thick wherever else you need it to grow. And you get that sweet mustache you always wanted. That's not all. What if you get the shot to the nuts once a year and you get the Call of Duty, you get the magical hair regrowth, and you get extra boners, guys. Extra boners. Who could say no to that? Every boner is a blessing. Except for ones that are with erectile dysfunction medications, those are abominations from God because God wants your penis to not work, so stop that. And I apologize. Now some men are folding their arms like, I don't know about this. But don't you think if you could be out there poning and boning real good that you would go for it? John says, yes, I got him. I got the men. They're on my side. Reeling it back in. All right, in conclusion. It's super weird. I hope to one day be like my grandmother. She's 93 and she lost her period in the war. So one day I'm gonna be like that American patriot. Fellas, I know I was picking on you, but I do it because I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming and being allies and supporting our cause. It's super important. It's super important mostly because men benefit from abortion more than anyone. Men out there have reaped the benefits of, if every man who got the benefit of an abortion stood up for this movement, this would have legs all over the world. It would even have legs in Congress and the White House. They would all have to support it. We know they've done it financially. So please, men, tell 5 friends. Get them on board with you. Help us grow our army. We can't do this alone. Women, have you ever had a creep, some weirdo slide into your DMs and you say no thank you? Yes, you do it nice, respectfully, right? Sorry, gay guys, maybe some hotties slide into your DMs too, don't mean to exclude. But what do? You say no thank you, respectfully. You tell them to keep it moving, keep it pushing. After a while you say no, 10, 12 times, they don't listen. Have you ever had a man, an ally, best friend, boyfriend, grab your phone and text him and say, leave this girl the fuck alone? Usually works. I'm not saying that women can't make this movement work alone. We've been doing pretty good for the last 50 years. But what I'm saying is, men, if you see something, you say something to that person. Keep your side under control. Get your dudes in check. If you see some bullshit, call it out. Make sure everybody knows. If you're on our team and you want to ride with us, you need to truly ride with us, and we'll ride with you. All right, last thing. I got a comedy show next week. No, I'm just kidding. I'm planning a pro-choice comedy show. We're going to do it at Coots on May 30th, which is a Thursday night at 8 p.m. I hope you come. It's going to be a ticketed door, but all money goes to support Planned Parenthood and other pro-abortion rights activism in Alaska. I've been Kass Smiley. Thank you very much. You guys have a great night.